Hello to my Taurus and happy full buck moon in Capricorn. Let's get into it. Talking to you wherever Taurus is in your birth chart. All right, Taurus, let's go. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below in the description. We already have the full buck moon prediction videos up on the Patreon side. If you want a bonus video, they go up on the membership side. Let's do it. Talking to you wherever Taurus is in your birth chart. Financial independence. Love it. The World card. Here we have the Six of Wands. Here we have the Hangman. Here we have the Ace of Cups. And then also the Hermit card. Nine of Pentacles. The World card. Oops. This is about boundaries. So speaking of the World card, Saturn is currently retrograde in Pisces, right? So source is saying to you, Pisces is a very compassionate sign. So this is where you want to start showing yourself some more compassion and just recognize that you are good enough, that you are worthy enough for whatever it is you're trying to do. And really start being a more compassionate leader. Meaning that if, for instance, let's say Virgo could be your Chiron, right? Virgo could be your Chiron. And just learning how to lead, like just by pouring more into yourselves, your moon sign, right? Pouring more into yourselves and learning how to hang in there, with yourselves, right? Because leading does not always mean like it's only one way of leading. You don't have to be stuck in just one way of leading. And I do see somebody victoriously being able to do that. Especially when you're talking about moving towards financial independence, multiple streams of income. There's more people that you're going to be interacting with. You can't be just stuck and just fixated on one way of doing things. Especially being ruled by Venus, the planet of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics. Because that's in that creative space, right? So it can quickly make you vain and vengeful and disrupt other people's peace if you don't go along with Source's flow. So Source is saying, I'm giving you an opportunity now. I'm giving you some good news to come across. Some good news is coming across somebody's path, both in your personal and your professional life, to teach you how to go along with the flow and kind of break out of that, and if you want financial independence, this is 9, which is the last single digit. So it's just saying, if you want that, then you're going to have to learn how to tap into your moon sign. No matter what your moon sign is, it is just as important as your sun sign, because that is how you nurture yourself. So find out what your sun sign is, obviously if you're watching this, but also find out what your moon sign is and nurture yourself so that you can tell people how you need to be nurtured when you feel like you're around a bunch of energy vampires. You're drained and you just need to be away from all of that. You want to be financially independent, which is the direction I see you going in. Somebody got some good news coming across their path. And you're like, okay, especially when you get to a point where it looks like, okay, this is not it. This is not it. I'm drained. I'm stressed out. I'm around these types of people. They mad at their money problem situation is not right. I'm mad because my money problems ain't right. Something else needs. It's something else. Something needs to give. And so that's what it is. Your moon sign. That is going to be somebody's key to financial independence. Believe it or not, finding out what your moon sign is, you don't even need your time of birth for this. The link for birth charts are below in the description. Find out what your moon sign is so you can leave a circus behind. Just leave a whole bunch of distractions behind. Somebody needs some time alone so that you can figure some stuff out. Right? Here we have the Star card. So you can learn how to protect yourself when you feel like, okay, you need to take care of yourself. So that when you feel like, okay, you can feel hopeful, blissful, and optimistic that I can take care of myself. That's what somebody is trying to be a lot more independent. We have the Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, right? So somebody's saying, trying to learn how to take care of yourself. You're trying to be more of a free thinker. You're trying to be more, march to the beat of your own drum. You're trying to stand out. Remember, there's more than one star in the sky. We have sun in this. We know that the sun is a star, right? But You need to be from around people who make everything about them. They just draining. Source is saying to you, you need to be in a space where if you have to take care of yourself, you're financially independent of all that other stuff. So you need to be away from a circus situation, right? You need to be away from a circus where people are constantly talking about they don't have enough money, they don't have this, they wish they had this kind of stuff, they wish they can. You need to be around some people who are financially independent, living below their means, and they're not stressed out when it comes to the energy of money, right? So that's what Source is trying to put you around. So you're getting closer and closer to that. Do not go back to be connected to familiar spirits. They want to get familiar with you a little bit too fast and then see you as competition and create a whole bunch of chaos and confusion. Here we also have the Six of Swords. Yeah, so you have an ancestor that's helping you to move on from those types of energies. So be grateful for those energies that have learned how to take care of themselves. People talk about them like a dog. They like, oh, they don't have this, they don't know, but they know how to take care of themselves. They know how to live below their means. They're not faking it till they make it. They're not faking it. So it's just saying, you got an ancestor that's teaching you how to move on from those types of energies that's always wearing a mask about their financial situation. See this water? It's not a whole lot of water splashing up, right? So somebody's going to help you to learn how to move on from those types of spirits that's always mad about money situation, money problems, this and that, right? Money is a form of energy. Here we have the Chariot card. So, and I do see you being successful at learning how to create very firm boundaries, right? Here we have the Lovers card. Some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across somebody's path if it's not already there. And I do feel like somebody's finally making a decision that's like, you know what? I need to learn how to take care of myself. I need to learn how to take care of myself. How do I do that? How do I do that? How do I get away from the people who, as far as money is concerned, they're not financially independent. They're financially dependent upon somebody else or something else. The competing, the chaos and confusion, always a bunch of mess going on around them, all of this. So I definitely feel like somebody's going to finally move on from the past disappointments. Yeah. Here was it right here. Yeah. They're competing in the material world. And so you need that balance. And the balance is your moon sign, the water. The water has an affinity with the moon. So, yeah. Try to get away from these type of spirits. Always in bait and switch mode. Always, I'm going to do this for you. And they pull something back from you. Always, I'm gonna do that. Always something dependent on there's no agape love. It's just always dependent on something else. Here we have the Nine of Swords, creating nightmares, creating a bunch of nightmares. Here we also have the Ace of Swords here. So hurt people who hurt people. You getting away from these types of spirits who love to see people sad, depressed, broke, busted, and disgusted. Here we have the Six of Wands. So you and somebody have dealt with those types of energy before. Y'all are both ready to get as far away from them as possible. Here we have the Two of Wands right here. Yep, you and somebody. It's two energies that y'all are saying you have had to pray to get away from. So here we have, yep, hurt people who hurt other people. So when you're around somebody who has survived that and they're thriving, that actually gives you the fire up under you to say, if they can do it, so can I. And you absolutely can. You absolutely can. So let's see what else we got going on. So yeah, some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across somebody's path if it hasn't already come across your path. But the Lover's card is also about decisions. So you have made a decision to break away from karmic cycles, to stop being afraid to be connected to karmic relationships was always about the material world. I gotta have the latest this, I gotta have the latest that. Because who are you keeping up with if it depreciates in value? So Source is saying to you, somebody is learning how to break away from that mindset. Somebody's learning how to break away from that mindset and live a wealthier life, a more financially independent life. Because there'll always be something to buy, always something new to buy. So, yeah, it's just been causing too much frustration in somebody's heart. Yeah, here we have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, somebody, this is what you were meant to be very wealthy. Yeah, you have a wealth of knowledge about those types of spirits, those people who get familiar too fast. And, you know, like I said before, always in fight mode. Sources say you're already familiar with those types of energy. So you're going to feel very fortunate to have come across some energies that's like, they're like a guardian angel. They literally are like a guardian angel in your life where you just like, man, I'm so glad they know how to take care of themselves. Like, I'm so glad they had that mindset. They know how to take care of themselves. That's scary for some people who have that, here we have the Lover's card here. So some kind of partnership in business and in love. So it's two types of energies I feel like somebody has had to deal, you know, somebody's dealt with. But you made some decision about two situations. But here we have the King of Wands here. So I feel like somebody's watching. Here we have the Ace of Wands here. This starting over. Somebody had their third eye is now wide open. Third eye is now wide open. Here we have the Seven of Wands here. So somebody's definitely getting as far away as you possibly can from this karmic way of thinking, this karmic way of this combative. It's conditioning. It really is conditioning. If we keep everybody fighting, then the people, you know, anyway, if we keep everybody fighting, right? Sources saying collaboration is really where it is. I just put it that way. That's the key. Yeah. If I can keep everybody fighting in the family instead of, you know, collaborating in the frequency of love. You know, so there's always some energies, there's always something going on with somebody. It's just a bunch of just, so sources like and it looks like it's fire energy here in the card. It's fire, or possibly it could be another Taurus, but it's always fire. It's just something, yeah, something going on. It could be another earth sign too. Anyway, the throat chakra, you're protected by angels. You're who they pray for. It's time for you to do the mirror work, but pour more into yourselves. Time to pray and meditate, but wealth is within your reach. Move in silence, move in peace. Somebody's ex wants to return, child. X is X for a reason. But you are protected and loved. You are protected and loved. I mean, if you want your ex to return, that's between y'all two. But Source is saying to you, as far as you're concerned, you're going to have to get to the root of something as to who or what. It's really the devil. It's not a person. It's a spirit that creates a bunch of chaos and confusion. You know, that this like I said, your moon sign. That's all I can say. Pull your birth chart. Find out what your moon sign is. Start nurturing yourselves on a regular basis, literally every day, just like you would drink water. Drink water, nurture yourself every single day. Do something to nurture yourself so that you'll know when you talk about partnerships and business and on love, make a decision. If I want relationships to flow, if I want to unblock my money, what's going to help unblock your money? Water. Cleansing something, cleansing by fire. I need to toss all this fear, doubt, uncertainty, chaos, and confusion in my spirit. All that needs to go into a burning bowl. It's not going to be solved with alcohol. It's not going to be solved with extra eating food, unhealthy food. It's not going to be solved with whatever other stuff. It's only going to be solved with the living water from within, right? So it can't just be the physical. It has to come from within, the living water from within. That's where it's going to come from for somebody. So, because somebody just kind of at a point of just kind of sort of burnout at some point, you know, and so we got, so yeah, so you, it's two situations in particular. Somebody said, you know what, it's time to move on from these situations. And there's somebody that's helping you to move on from the situation, but you need inspiration. Like somebody needs to, okay, I need to see some energies that I see are doing it, that are financially independent. I need to see that it can be done. I don't want to be left out high and dry. I don't want to be broke. Don't want to be sitting out somewhere, because you already know that when you're connecting with energies who are bullying spirits, they always in friction mode, they always waiting for somebody to fail. I mean, that's just how they are. They just waiting for somebody to see. I told you, if you do stuff like them, you gonna fail just like they did. I told you. They familiar spirit. They like to try to get familiar, but they are not. The enemy. The enemy is familiar with how people move, right? But enemy doesn't know what sources plans for people, right? So somebody will figure it out. Somebody is dealing with a demon. Here we have the Tower card, but the Tower is coming down. That tower is coming down on that. Here we have the 8. It's coming down fast. It is coming down fast. That tower is coming down fast. So, and tap into that strength. Tap into that strength. It's coming down fast because the enemy like tries to get familiar with people's patterns. Like, okay, I already know they're gonna do this. They leave the house at this time. They do this. They eat this kind of dinner. They eat this kind of breakfast. They eat this. The enemy gets familiar with that. They pray around this time. They pray around that time. But Source, the Creator, created that spirit. The Creator created that. So keep your eyes on the Creator. What is through prayer and meditation, right? The two go hand in hand, prayer and meditation. Just like high priest and high priestess go hand in hand in one body. You need to pour into yourself to calm this fire down. So that way you don't just like so burned out, you go into zombified mode. You need to saturate, you need to nurture yourself. Because otherwise you'll be looking for other unhealthy ways of feeding demons. So look at the bigger picture. Somebody's going to feel very, very lucky, but look at the bigger picture here. Look at the bigger picture. It's better for somebody to live under their means. It's better for somebody to say, okay, I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. And let somebody say, oh, I saw you wearing that last week. Okay, so what? So what? It's better for you to live under your means, within your means, under your means. Yeah, and break those ribbons. Here we have, for it lives in the silk of my binding, the knots in my truth, the eye of becoming, the witness swallowed in stillness. So somebody is going to do a cord cutting ceremony. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. Absolutely nothing wrong with having nice things. But there is something wrong with a person being so terrified that if you don't have, like, those nice things define your worth, that you can't be financially independent. Somebody's on their way to an enormous amount of wealth, but somebody's going to have to break up with that mindset, that hoarding mindset. Yeah, here we have artistry and peace. Artistry and peace. So, yeah, but so sources definitely want somebody to make more money, like lead, turn that fear into faith, right? A faith that you are good enough. Faith that you can lead. Because if you're operating on that path of fear, and if I don't make enough money, that fear is going to cause rage, anger, frustration. It's going to cause you to be on the dark side of your ruling planet Venus, which is vain and vengeance. It's going to cause disruption of other people's peace. It's going to cause all kinds of chaos and confusion. And you are limitless. Zero, you are limitless. There is no beginning and no end. All is infinite. It's time to develop your spiritual side. See, this is the high priest is the physical side. It's time to develop your spiritual side. This is high priestess, your intuition, right? You are gaining new sight and understanding of both godly, that's spiritual, and the earthly things, that's high priest. It's in balance to just to have one, to say, I don't believe it until I physically see it with my eyes. I don't believe that I can be financially independent until I see people who are financially independent with my eyes, because I've been around so much fire around me of energies just blowtorching me in my back, telling me that I would never be anything. If I look at them, I'm familiar with them. I'm familiar. I know this about them. I know this about them. I know this about them. They don't know anything about anything. These kind of people like to burn bridges. They ain't familiar with nothing. They don't know anything. They think they know, But what they don't know is that source probably removed people from their life before they got a chance to really know them. They're not familiar with anything. The devil is the author of confusion. So source is saying, yeah, there it is, Fae. There it is, Fae. Yeah. Not everything is it may seem. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale. I'm trying to tell somebody, like, for real. People think they know people. They like, oh, I know. Well, everybody can't be lying. That's, well, hello. Who knows everybody on the planet? Familiar spirits, you need to look them up. Fae, the Book of Enoch, read it. Fae, The Watchers, the movie, The Watchers. You need to, maybe you want to watch it, right? So it's a lot of information out here, but a fiery climax approaches. Some people, they jump to conclusions about people, and then they gotta fall back into the same fiery pit that they set for other people because they don't know. Some people run their mouth about people and they don't know what they talking about. They have no clue as to what they talking about. Oh, I know this and I know that. Jumping to conclusions. So source is saying somebody gonna stop listening to all these people jumping to conclusions about stuff. Somebody gonna stop listening. Somebody gonna get, as soon as somebody starts saying, oh, I'm familiar with this, I know this about them, somebody's gonna be just like this, pure, like, I'm getting it, I don't want to hear it, that's karmic, I don't want to hear that. You're gonna go straight into praying for people, not praying on people. You're gonna sit there and listen to it for 1 minute. Oh, that sounds like a hurt person that's hurting somebody else. If somebody let them get that close to get familiar with them and they talking about them like a dog, then okay, I don't want to be connected to this person, because if they talking about somebody else like a dog, then they talking about me like a dog. Here we have daughter of coins. Yeah, so people don't know what they... People are about to stop entertaining gossip. Three of baskets sound like somebody's obsessed. I'm telling you, look, Taurus, you're gonna learn how to. Here we have three of baskets. You're gonna be grateful. You're gonna be real grateful when you sit there and listen to. Now that source is giving somebody a fresh new start on something. When you sit there and listen to people who make everything all about them, literally like an obsession. Oh, I know this, I know that about them, I know this, whoever the them is. When you sit there and hear that, oh, I know this about them, I know that about them, and I heard this and I heard that. They got the money on everybody. They got the information. They got the wealth of knowledge. Speaking of pentacles, they got a wealth of knowledge about everybody else. But what they forgot is that somebody is carrying their wealth of knowledge about them, so source is saying, like I said, FAE'S. Black magic. You're gonna stop letting let people put spells on you. Somebody gonna stop letting people put spells on them. The longer you sit there and let people keep planting those seeds and you're planting that in your garden, when you're talking about, you're only blocking your own money. Look at this right here. All of this fire for the seeds that you planted for financial independence, that is a drought. Imagine, because you don't have that much water here. Sources say, imagine you planted some seeds in your garden and the sun is shining so hot outside and it doesn't rain for a while. Where's the growth? There's not a whole lot of growth because somebody's sitting there letting somebody burn their ears up with something. And the things that you're planting seeds for, I wish I had more money. I wish I had, financial independence. I wish I had all this and that and so on and so forth. You can't have the physical without the spiritual. We are divine beings of light. That's the spiritual who are having a human experience. You have that voice of source inside of you. You got to feed that living water. So source is saying you have made a decision about two energies in particular to say, no more. I'm getting as far away from them as possible. All they do is like to just burn up the lines, talking about people, keeping mess going, chaos and confusion. They are FAE'S. 27. There it is. 2 and 7 is 9. You ending it. I am expressive. Your mind is wide open and you are tolerant and compassionate towards all the ways of life. You value freedom of expression and you want to improve the conditions of people, whether in your community, country, or world at large. Somebody's dealing with demonic spirits. That's what you're dealing with. You don't have to call a person a demon. I know people love to say, oh, my ex was a demon. They was a devil. You have no... Listen, release all of that. Just release it. Keep it on the throne. Source is saying to you, you're talking about the devil. The source created the devil. And you're going directly to source. You are very clear. That your fight is not against flesh and blood. That's not your fight. Source is saying you know exactly what you're dealing with. You're dealing with familiar spirits. I think the movie The Watchers is going to help some people for real. I think the movie The Watchers is going to help some people. Like if you watch it maybe 1 or 2 times and like really listen and pay attention. But it's also in the book of Enoch if you want like a deeper whatever. But like for real, if you listen to it and like what spirits go into certain places and where they are on their journey. Next time when you come across people who are lost on a journey or whatever through their life, you're going to immediately go into praying for them instead of sitting there listening to, oh my God, I heard this about them. I'm familiar with, oh, do you familiar? You know them too? All of that. Source is like, Source is putting you in a leadership position and you are good enough to be in a leadership position so that you are not left uncovered and unprotected. This is how somebody is going to become. That's why I'm trying to connect the dots for you. This is how you're going to become very wealthy. Because it really starts within you. If you don't feel good enough to lead because you're sitting around listening to gossip and people are drying up your money. They drying up your money. So Source is saying you got some ancestors going to help you to wake up from all of this. You got ancestors that's going to help you to get away from these energies. They familiar with everybody else's stuff. They familiar with everybody else's past except their own. Then they got amnesia. Okay. Selective. so Source is like but you're getting it. Energetic clearing. There it is. That fire, that burning bowl is gonna be fired up during this. I'm telling you, this buck moon, Source is gonna break somebody out of this. All of this sitting around just getting all of this. Like I said, people who are narcissistic, or they have feelings of low self-worth. All they do is just carry on about it. Here we have, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Somebody better get away from the FAE'S. That is what I have for you. Here are the questions for the moon in Aquarius. First question is, what can you do to use your passion for serving on a large scale? Second question is, are you creating space for yourself to connect with your inner alchemist and innovator? Third question is, are you ready to think outside the box and delete old beliefs and rules to write your own? Fourth question, is using technology a drain or gain for you? And then last but not least is, are you ready to start a group in your community to initiate and create positive change on a local or global scale? And then what could the focus be? What could the focus be? That's what I have for you, Taurus. Like I said before, congratulations on somebody getting to financial independence, but it first starts with making a decision to get away from energies that are evaporating your water, your living water even more. Those energies that love to stay in just chaos and confusion at all times. You have got to get away from them. Like, I don't care who they are. They got to go. They have got to go. Because the bigger picture is that somebody doesn't see that those are the energies that mess up your money. If that's what you're looking for. You're looking for more money. They mess up your love life, more money, everything. All they do is just stay in chaos and confusion. They always talking about, oh, I'm familiar with this person. I know that person. They don't have this. They don't have that. But it's really them projecting what they don't have onto other people. So it's like that's... Somebody is learning about that dark magic that people put on people. But that's what I have for you. I will see you all in the next reading. Bye.